You know what? I'm just going to do my portrait. Hi, Kende. Hi, RCCG. Youth Department. Hi, Noel. Muni. Femi. Shikbe. I'm sorry. I'm sure I didn't get that right. Topolin. Hi, Uch. Good to see you. Hi, Kende. It's very good to see you. Hi, Sister Ade. How are you? Hi, Fee. Lola Day. All right. While we're joining, I'm going to try to put my phone in portrait mode, and I want you to let me know how it feels. It's really weird because reading comments now are going to be so awkward. But I need to upload this on YouTube, so this is so weird. And the videos look weird in portrait mode on YouTube. Okay, you know what? Let's see how today goes in portraits, and then I'll change because I can't be bending my neck. That's the truth. Dr. Derek, Dami, I thought about you today, and I need to see you tomorrow. Happy New Year. Wow, Dr. K. Oh my goodness. I'm shy. Good evening, sir, and Happy New Year. Precious. It's because of love I'm allowing you on this live. Just know that. Happy New Year, Chris, George. It's good to see you. When is the date? Joy says she can't hear me. I'm assuming it's just her. Can anyone else hear me? Can everyone else hear me? Hi, Kewe. Okay, so I think people can hear me actually. Happy New Year, sir. Happy New Year to you and your family. Okay. All right, guys, so we're going to get right into it. I want to do this in an hour. Okay, great. You can hear. Thank you. I want to do this in an hour because there's so many things happening in life. So we need to move on. And if we want to talk this relationship matter, we will never finish it. So, okay, you can hear now. Fantastic. So I want us to go into it. All right, Father, we thank you for a time like this. Thank you for giving us your principles and your guidelines. We know that we are in this world, and while we are to live in this world, we live by a different set of principles that work. And so, Lord, as we teach, as we discuss, as we share, as we ask questions and answer questions, give us answers through your word that are practical for our daily living and for us to enjoy relationships and marriage, especially that are heaven on earth, or that is heaven on earth. In Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. All right, so I've said it a number of times, especially when it's my platform for that matter. This is when I talk about relationships and marriage. It's not one of those covert missions. I know there are a lot of times when people say Christians, they see us when we are coming. And I get that. Maybe there is a place for that. But when it comes to relationships, and especially when it's my platform, I'm not on a covert mission. There is no time. There's no time. I say this all the time. The other side, they are not smiling. They're crafting various things. Hi, Daring. I heard your testimony, Daring. Awesome. They're crafting so many ways to distract us. Crafting so many ways to, cause us to deny the faith. Crafting so many ways for us to get into trouble, into sin. It's just a mess. Giving us warped ideas about what marriage and relationships and our sexual life should be. Hi, Sinach. Good to see you. So I don't have time to be coming at you, just creeping in. I'm going to tell you what it is. And because I always say as well that I made too many mistakes in relationships in the past, for me to watch people around me, close to me, make those type of mistakes as well. Favor focus. Thank you. Make that kind of those kinds of mistakes as well. Right. So this is why I do what I do. I really want people to know that there's an alternative. I really want people to know that there's an alternative, which is the way of God. And it works. It works. I don't mean to brag, but I know that this is something God has called me to, and one of the reasons that there is evidence in my own relationship and marriage. So I'm not even trying to blow my trumpet. God has to give me evidence, otherwise my preaching is weak. God has to give me, hi Tammy, God has to give me evidence, otherwise my teaching is weak. God has to give me evidence in my own life, otherwise I can't be a good witness. What is the essence of being a witness? The essence of being a witness is so that when you, Pastor Femi Okunuga, this meeting is anointed, I'm telling you guys. Pastor Femi, belated happy birthday. I left a comment on your page yesterday. I hope that you saw it. Yeah, thank you, George. Right? So a witness is a person who helps an investigation. So when a witness is called to the witness stand by the police, by the lawyers or whatever, they are supposed to produce evidence that will help them catch the bad guys. So if the witness now goes there and starts babbling, or if the witness, like money heists, the hostages are supposed to be witnesses, some of them have now gone and joined the robbers, they can't be good witnesses anymore. As a matter of fact, if they catch the robbers, they're going to catch them join. Nothing like they made me do it. So I have to be a good witness. God has to give me a good testimony. So that is, and I say it all the time, my marriage is not just for me. My marriage is for as many people as are willing to receive that. All right, so let's go right into it. Today we are talking about what you need to do before, the questions you need to ask, what you need to be aware of before you go into a relationship. So I put up a set of questions. Hi, Nanny, good to see you. You're very well. Yeah, I can imagine, sir. No problem. I was just saying belated happy birthday. Thank you for being a blessing to this generation. Last week Sunday, 2 Sundays ago, I shared your CDs with a few people at King's, because every time I listen to your CD, I feel so blessed. I'm like, I still have some at home. Why should I listen to it by myself? So thank you so much. Right. So I shared a couple of questions or topics I wanted us to talk about, and you guys chose and all, but I just thought, you know what, there's no point even talking about all of that if, Kene, welcome. So there's no point talking about all of that if we don't even understand if we are ready, prepared, or going into a relationship in the right way. So I'm going to ask some questions and talk about some things in no particular order. I have like 3 number 1s and 2 number 4s, so I'm just going to go in whatever order I see, right? Okay, so let's start from this. The first thing I want to say is that you do not go into a relationship for the sake of the relationship. And this is one of the mistakes that I made continuously when I was younger. I went into relationships because of a relationship. So I'm going to Ibadan. I'm not going to get married to the car. When I say I'm not going to offload my suitcase in the car. I'm not going to start brushing my teeth in the car. I'm not going to change into my PJs in the car. The car is taking me to my house in Challenge in Ibadan. So while I'm in the car, I'm going to make sure that I don't, before I even get into the car, I'm going to plan my journey. How long is it going to take me to get there? What means do I want to go? There are some, I was going to say airlines now, but we're talking about roads. There are some road lines, if you will. Some people, when they're traveling, there's a particular bus park they go to because of certain reasons. I'm going to say, okay, these ones they charge 2,500, these ones they charge 2,000 naira. So you have arranged yourself. Am I going to buy food on the road in this COVID period? Nah, I think not. I shall pack my food from my house. Yeah, so I planned before I get into the relationship, then into the car. Then while I'm in the car, I'm going to ensure that I don't sleep off. I try not to sleep off in cars because these days you don't know what's going on. I'm praying, dozing off a bit, but watching, looking at my bags. I'm still conscious even when I'm inside the car. I'm not going to say, this driver knows what he's doing. He's been driving for 10 years. Kojo, the driver I'm driving for 15 years. Let's not talk about what happened. So I'm still alert. And then I get into my house. Even when I get into my house, I still have responsibilities, but at least I've gotten into my house safe. Right? So you don't go into a relationship because of a relationship. The relationship is the means to an end. You are going somewhere. The relationship is leading you to marriage, and the marriage is not even the end in itself. There's a purpose for your marriage, and I have a video on that. Okay? So don't go into a relationship because relationship. Right? Number 2, in no particular order. Yeah. Hi, Ore. Good to see you. In no particular order. When you're going into a relationship, a lot of times we are concerned about what I want. What do I want in the guy? What do I want in the girl? And that's good. You need to get that in order. But sometimes we forget to ask, what does this person want? We get into a relationship and we are excited because the person loves us, the person adores us, the person is always there for us, the person is always nice to us, the person, you know, does this and that for us. And especially when it's a guy, the guy is usually going to go all out to be with the lady. But you need to ask, what does this person want? Don't go in on assumptions. Excuse me. What are this person's aspirations in life? The person is happy with me. Listen, and you don't marry somebody for who the person is now. You marry somebody for who the person could be or will be in 5 years, in 10 years, in 15 years, in 20 years. So when you're saying, oh, I love him, he's so wonderful, she's so this and she's so that, what can this person degenerate to if some things are not checked? What can this person degenerate to if some red flags you are seeing now are not handled? What can this person degenerate to if you don't ask the right questions now? What can this person degenerate to if our value systems are not the same? So you're not just marrying the person for the great person we've seen now. The person has finished school and the person came out with a first class. But is the person still keeping up that, you know, hard work, work ethics? Is the person still, you know, striving for the best? Or is the person now relaxing on their own because I have first class and everybody will employ me? I'm laughing like this because we have a lot of first class graduates that are driving bus. Maybe not a lot, but you get my point. So what can the person degenerate to if certain things are not handled? So you're not marrying the person for who the person is now, but who the person could be. Of course, the flip side is also the case. What this person is just okay now, but what can that person become? And listen to me, let me tell you, success is not always a good thing for you. Success, let me put it this way. Hi Latin Day, it's good to see you. A particular person's success is not necessarily good for you. So if this person has studied chemical engineering, hi Fingfolu, and you know, you guys are thinking about how you guys are going to start working in Shell and all of that together, and somewhere along the line, the person says, you know what, I feel called to, I don't know, something else. And the person starts going in that trajectory and the person is, you know, really rising. That person is successful. But does that success tally with who you are and where you're going? So please, when you're going into a relationship, ask, what does this person want? And don't ask those questions based on just now. You need to ask the question based on who the person can degenerate to or succeed to. You're asking based on what they can degenerate to and succeed to. All right. I need to move with time because I can talk a lot. Don't get involved for the wrong reasons. Wrong reason in this particular instance being to distract you from problems. Do not get into a relationship to distract you from problems. It's very sweet, very endearing, very blissful to know that there's someone you can call and the person will answer you. To know that at the end of the day, someone will come to your house and visit you. Someone will take you on a date. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. But if you are stressed from your home, maybe if you have parental issues, or if you have financial issues, or you haven't had a job in a long time, or whatever, and you want to get into a relationship to distress, listen, you do not get into a relationship because a person makes you happy. I'm going to say that again. You do not go into a relationship because a person makes you happy or the person gets you. And hopefully we'll come to that. It's not just because the person gets you or the person makes you happy. Yes, those are good, but that's not enough. That's not it. A clown can make me happy. Real life. Okay, I was going to say something else, but I won't say it now. So you don't just get into a relationship because the person makes you happy. That is good. That should be there. But we are talking destiny here. We are talking destiny. All right. You can't marry someone to distract you from problems, because my question then becomes, what do you do when that person becomes the problem? If you're with that person to distress, to run away from family issues, thank you for all the hearts, guys. I see them. Thank you. Keep them coming. What do you do when the person himself or herself becomes the problem? When the person loses their job and they're like, they can't pick up your calls anymore because they need to articulate their thoughts and put CV together and know how they're soaking Gary and they're too ashamed to face you. What do you do when that person now has family issues in their own house and needs somebody to lean on? What? Thank you so much, Tammy. I love you too. What do you do when that person themselves become the problem? Problem plus problem equals double wahala. That's the real wahala for who enter relationship to distress. So do not go into, so I'm throwing all these things for you guys to go and think. So I'm not here to give you answers today, as it were. I'm here to make you guys think. A human problem, and this is not even just relationships, a human problem, and unfortunately, and I say this carefully, unfortunately, or maybe I don't even know how to say it now, a Christian problem, or some Christian problems, or some Christians' problem is that we don't think. And I'm putting myself in this category in different areas. I might think well in relationships and some other things, but there's some areas I don't think or think enough. Thinking is, and you know what, you need to think about it. Thinking is, and we're going to come to that point, thinking is a mental exercise. And a lot of people are mentally lazy. Thinking makes you come face to face with truth. And a lot of people are afraid of the truth, especially when it's not good. Thinking makes you vulnerable. Thinking makes you naked yourself. Thinking makes you work because you see a lot of loopholes and you need to ask a lot of questions and read a lot of books. I'm a person, Kenny, I don't really understand that. Thinking is a lot of work. So a lot of people suspend that. I'm a preaching person. Oh, you're preaching. Oh, okay, thanks. A lot of people suspend that aspect of their lives because it's a lot of work. But if you don't do it, you are going to land yourself in trouble. And you're going to be going from counseling session to counseling session to mentor me session to mentor me session. And there's nothing wrong with mentors. They're there for a good reason. But at some point, your mentor expects you to think. Right? So maybe today more of what I'm doing is being a coach. I'm not a certified coach yet, but it's loading. Yeah, people will pay me money that time. I'll still do free Insta Live, but people will pay me money for longer sessions. Yeah. But so you need to think. All right, so that's what I'm here to do today. I'm going to go to the other point because I can't remember why I started going in that direction. Okay, So when I'm throwing these questions to you, I want you to think about it. You know, if you're in a relationship already, I usually say that when I'm speaking most times, if I'm here to encourage those that are doing well in their relationship to keep at it, and I'm here to scatter some relationships that are not supposed to be at all. And then for those who are still like in between, help you fine tune some things. If the person making you happy and gets you is not enough, what makes a relationship enough? All right, so like I'll just quickly answer that. It's a destiny thing. So for example, I have a couple of guy friends. When I gist with them for hours. One of them is on the call here, Ade, her husband, whom I knew before her. They're at my house on Boxing Day, and I could gist with him for hours. I could literally gist with him for hours. He's married now, but if he tells his wife, "Well, I'm in Toju's house," she's not really going to have a problem with it. Of course, he's not going to be coming to my house every day. So he makes me happy, right? And he gets me, especially because on the level of even spiritual things and even just generally we vibe well. But I'm not married to him for a reason. Because it's beyond that. We can be friends. If we want to, we can be best friends. I'm just saying. But it's more than that. It's destiny. Where are we going? What are we building? What are our ideals? What has God spoken to us about our future? So we might be good as friends, separate. But when we come together, not good. So in a nutshell, that's to answer the question. All right. Okay, so let me ask this question. The next question is, do you have the time, the energy, and the resources for a relationship? Do you have the time, the energy, and the resources for a relationship? Let me start from the downside. Sometimes I get a lot of, you're welcome, Temisayo or Temishayo, I'm not sure, forgive me, right? A lot of people tell me, you know what, I don't have energy, I don't have strength. I just can't. This relationship to my beg, let me just day my day, right? And sometimes I know that for some of them in particular, it's because they've had experiences that are not so nice. For some of them, it's because they're tired of waiting. The relationship thing is just a lot. But some of them, they literally genuinely feel, to be spending money. Hi Ruth, welcome. If I want to, okay, let me not mention the person's name. I know someone, and I keep on asking her, I mean, she's in her early 20s, but I'm just like, boyfriend, have fun. She's like, no, if I have boyfriend, it's less time for TV. If I have boyfriend, it's less time for schoolwork. If I have boyfriend, it's less time for me time. And I'm like, when you were in primary school, your mind could not even hold the thought that you'll be doing a master's at this time and working. Your mind couldn't grab it. But now that you've grown, you have capacity to handle it. So think about it that way. I said the reason that you've not met the man that you really like, right? Or the man that is God sent. As you grow, you need to develop capacity. This is the beginning of the series, Daisy. But tomorrow, from next week Sunday, we are starting by 7. I'm not doing it tomorrow because tomorrow is my son's birthday, so I just decided to leave it free. But going forward, the series will be 7 p.m. on Sundays. And I am not saving them on IGTV. You might see this video up for a few minutes or something, but I'm going to be uploading videos to my YouTube channel now. All right. So you need to ask yourself, do you have the time, the energy, and the resources for a relationship? And these are the kind of things that you should talk to with someone who you're liking or who's liking you, who you're deciding to go into a relationship with. Because time, energy, and resources for me might not be the same thing for you. So for example, when I was courting my husband, time was a big deal for me. And somehow time became a big deal for him because as busy as he was, he could be in my house for hours, working from his laptop, preparing message, making phone calls and whatever, but he was in my presence. Right? So it was a big deal for us. So, but it might be too much for some other person to say, you didn't call me last night. You didn't call me last night. I've not heard your voice this morning. Wow, so you've gone a whole day and you've not spoken to me. Hi, Adiola. Good evening. For somebody, that might just be smothering. That might just be choking. Yeah, so we're going global. This is 2020-21. Enlargement. Yeah? So you need to ask, do I have the energy for this? Do I have the resources? My boyfriend is in Naja. I'm in Mafoluku. My boyfriend is in what's the other far place now? Awoyaya. And you are in Mushin. Do I have the resources to be commuting? Do I have the energy? Because that commute is going to make me tired. So will I meet them and sleep off? Will I meet them and be frustrated that I came to visit you? I enter pothole, rain beats me. There was no bus. In this COVID period again, I will still wear mask inside bus. I'm hot, I'm choked. So do you have the end? Hi, Pastor BC. Good evening. You're just changing picture anyhow, Pastor BC. Good to see you. I said this meeting is anointed, right? So do you have the resources? Do you have the energy? Valentine's Day, February 14. Boo's birthday is February 17. Yes. They expect you to buy 2 different presents. Do you have the energy? I mean, you guys discuss it. So what do you do when he always wants to talk and you don't always want to talk? Okay, fantastic. So this is a conversation you should have. By the time as your friends, you should already be able to get the vibe of how they vibe. Are they huggy, lovey-dovey? That is why I always say, don't rush. Where are you rushing to? Especially if it's a relationship that you're hoping leads to marriage, you have forever to do what you want to do. So take your time and observe the person. Please, every time I do relationship calls, I always say, buy my book. Especially for, hello, for which one? Buy my books, please. Buy my book because it answers a lot of questions. So over time, you're able to gauge what kind of person he or she is. However, if you're not in the relationship and the person doesn't want to talk or you don't want to talk and you have to find a polite way to say it. You don't give the person a la. You are not harsh. And if it's a situation of, the person wants to talk all the time, but you are working, you need to make up. You need to augment by saying, okay, I'll come and see you by 6 p.m. and I'll stay with you for 2 hours. You need to make up. You can't just say, I don't want to talk a lot and then leave the person hanging. So it's a situation of, I can't do this, but I will do this. You need to meet the person somehow. Don't rush challenge, as in don't rush. I know it can be really exciting, especially for It can, for anybody really, man or woman, it can be really exciting and it's sweeting you, and I've been there too many times. And that is when the relationship becomes about the relationship. You're very excited, it's sweet, everything looks nice, everything looks good, and you're like, so why not? Please, you do not go into a relationship because of a relationship. All right. This one is very important to me. Who else knows? Someone should please tell me when it's 8:50 rather. What do you think about breaks during the relationship? Depends on what the break is about. Don't give the person a land now. Especially if the person is supposed to be your friend. I see someone has posted a question. I'll get to it. I was saying something, I can't remember. This is well. Who else knows about the relationship? I'm looking fat in this thing, but believe me, I'm not fat. I hope not. In fact, what am I even saying? Nobody should comment. I don't want to hear. Oh. Okay, tips from my book. Thank you, Pamela. Who else knows about this relationship? Who else knows about the relationship? This might be Old Testament. 8:50, please. 8:50 favor. It might be Old Testament or not, but just get the concept. So when Abraham was going to, please, nobody should hold me and start judging theology. I'm just giving an example. I say people should not say anything. You are still saying something. Human beings, though. Thank you. I'm just being myself. Hope that's fine. I know this is going on YouTube and all, but they'll love me like that until my husband tells me I should stop disgracing myself. Okay, but even if I'm looking for, trust me, it's just the visuals. Right. Okay, so who else knows about this relationship? Yes, I was talking about Abraham. Abraham sent his servant to go and look for a spouse, right? And the person was supposed to test character. So it's not even just, Isaac was not even there. Now, don't get me wrong, I'll try and tie it in. Isaac was not even there. Yes, it was arranged marriage. But the servant that was sent, thankfully, the servant had sense. So he knew what to look out for. Character, virtue, beauty. He knew what to look out for. So that even the servants could vouch for the person. And of course, met with Isaac, met with the family, and all of that. Of which, by the way, the girl self was related to Isaac. So they are already family members. So there's already good reports. So please stop all that nonsense of they don't just understand him. They don't just understand her. That's how they are in my house. It's always a fight to accept people. Everybody cannot hate this person. You cannot intentionally be with someone just because you want to be with them and nobody else has a good report about them. Why? Yes, I know sometimes maybe parents can be difficult, but parents are not that unreasonable. I always say, I say in my book, don't just take his word or her word for it. Ask their sister about them. Ask their brother about them. Ask their ex, if you know, about them. Ask their grandmother about them. Ask the people that unfollow them on Instagram. Why did you unfollow them? Ask questions. What are other people saying about this person? And don't ask only people that like them. Don't ask only the people that they introduce you to. What else did they tell you? It's very important. Your mentor should know. If you don't have chests to introduce this person to your mentor, then you already know that's questionable. You do not do introduction before you tell your pastor that you are getting married. You do not collect ring. And I say, Pastor, I just got engaged. What do you want him to do? What do you want her to do? I see your comments, guys. What do you want her to do? Pastor, I just want to let you know that my parents have come and confirm from you which dates will be fine by you. Date for what? Date for what exactly? Okay, so as your pastor is now, coming as what? Coming to join people that he doesn't know? Coming to join you to a guy he hasn't vouched for, or a girl he can't vouch for. And listen, I'm not even saying, maybe I'm using pastor because it's not personal to me. I'm not saying your pastor does not decide who you get married to. My husband is a pastor. He will never tell you don't marry this person. He will counsel you, he will guide you, he will advise you, he will tell you, okay, this is what I feel, this is what I feel. But the decision is up to you. He will never tell you don't marry this person. Except, that is then God have shown him red thunder, blue thunder, inside a dream and in real life. Then he will now tell you. But my husband will not do that. Even with me, and that's a topic for a totally different, even with me, my husband does not say, don't do this. That's a topic for another day. Right? So who are the people that know this person? The person must be vouchable by sects of people. Right? So that even if maybe a parent or someone in your life does not accept the person, you can now say, but I have a host of witnesses. And you can now bring the host of witnesses to plead on your behalf, especially if the person is such an important person in your life. All right? Manage finances. How do you manage your finances? How do you manage your finances as an individual? There's so many things to say, but I'm just giving bullet points. How do you manage your finances? As ladies, you are not going into a relationship that this guy can be your, I don't even know what to call it now, your armor bearer to guide you from all financial hardships. I don't know if I've ever said it categorically with my voice. I know it's in my book. But your boyfriend is under no obligation whatsoever. Obligation is the word. He can be nice. He can be generous. He should be. But he's not under obligation to buy you hair. He's not under obligation to pay your school fees. He did not give you admission. So why is he paying your school fees? He was not there when you filled form. Maybe even if he was there. He's not under obligation to do that. So don't go into the relationship and say you are the man you're supposed to provide. He's not your husband. Pastor Dolapo, I discovered something today. And I hope I'm not yanni nonsense, but I'll see you in the DM. It's so good to see you. There's so many pastors on this call. Oh my God, I feel so anointed. So it's okay to introduce who we are dating to our pastor. My parents don't want to see dates. They only want to see who you want to marry. Okay. That was funny. So Shoals, I'm sure you're a Shoals P. You're a girl. Okay, so for me, where I stand right now, as of now, I don't know what will happen in 2 days' time, but I think this is where I stand for the rest of it. I don't believe in dating. So when I meet someone, that's not going to happen anymore. But when I finally got sense, for example, and met my husband, it wasn't a dating relationship. It was a courtship relationship. I need to get my book for me to explain the difference. I could now, but I wouldn't. Yeah. So we were courting. So we went into the relationship with the plan of, I'm going to get married to you. Me, I'd played too much to even start having time for dating again. So that is the ideal thing. I'm not now saying that who you court is the person you must get married to. If there are indications that the person is not, please, even if it's 1:45, please X. Right? So for me, if you're going to be in a relationship with someone, it should be somebody that you are, getting ready to be with. Right? But I also think, on the other hand, that, even if it's not going to work out like that, your parents should be open enough to at least guide you and counsel you. For your pastor, for me in my own church, my pastor wants to know when you are liking somebody, beginning to talk at 4 a.m., beginning to talk every day. When you're talking to someone every day, hooking up, going out, something is happening, investments are going on there, and that is enough. Because you see, with a pastor especially, your pastor is responsible, quote and unquote, for your soul. He's the shepherd of your soul, and God, I was going to say governing, but that's really not the word. He's an overseer over your life. So it is irresponsible, or it will be irresponsible for him to now know 2 days to the time. But then again, you are the one that needs to help him in that responsibility by introducing them. This is what's happening. So he can even guide you in case you are going amiss, or there's something to sense in the spirit that you can't at that time. So it's good. It's fine to it can just be gist. It's not that, okay, pastor, please, I want to come and seek premarital counseling. Oh, pastor, this is what's going on. And no. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I was talking about managing finances. So that's not what this guy is there for, or this girl, as the case may be. Yeah, so he's not an ATM. Hi, Ahmed. Yeah. So you need to know how to manage your finances. If you don't have piggy bank by now, if you don't have savings by now, if you don't have multiple streams of income by now, when I say multiple, listen, when we say multiple streams of income, don't even get it twisted. Don't think I'm talking about having Swiss accounts and then having one business that is bringing in 1 million naira per month. My dear, multiple streams of income, they can be paid. You are selling recharge card on one hand, you know, you are braiding hair on the other hand. Even if he's, listen, my husband will say that sometimes he has, and he's doing well by God's grace, he has investments that sometimes, or dividends or interest, that is tens of thousands of naira that is coming in. But you see, when that 23,256 naira 27 kobo enters the account, it does something. It does something to your esteem. Let me not say esteem, because even if there's no money in your account, it shouldn't do anything to your esteem. And that's a different topic. But there's a joy, there's a happiness. You know that thing, even if you find 1,000 naira now, even if it's pay, okay, let me go and eat as soon, you'll be happy. So it's something that's coming in. At least 20,000 naira now we pay for DSTV. And I don't have to go and work for it. It's just coming in from something. Do you get what I mean? So you need to have your finances in order, so that when you go into the relationship, you're not so dependent, but you're even helpful. Then again, manage finances in terms of when you now meet boo and bae, don't let your brain just, you know, go on vacation, go on excursion to a place of no return. Don't let your brain, you know, just Johnny Walker away. Don't go and eat all the whole food in all the whole restaurants. I will spoil you. I will spoil you. I will give you a good time. Then your account is entering minus, 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 minus. You say even 20 naira is appreciated. Favor, please just go away. I'm telling you, sometimes that 200 naira is what you need. My mentor always says, don't negotiate my miracle. If God is telling you to give me 1,000 naira, give me 1,000 naira. Because it might have happened. It's happened this one live. My husband picked up someone from church. I know they just said, you know, let me just give you some money. There was no talk about, oh, I need money, pastor, help me, whatever. My husband just felt led to give him money. And guess what? The guy forgot his wallet in the car. In the car my husband was driving. And the money my husband gave him was the only, thank you so much, Rennie. I'm not sure if I got that. Rennie or Yax. That was the only the cash he had. The money my husband, I said the husband, my money gave him. The money my husband gave him. Otherwise, you'll have gone and not being like all those people say, please now, I'm just going to Oshodi, please just give me something now. They now start thinking it's a scam, unnecessary embarrassment. So my mentor said, don't negotiate my miracle. You don't know if that 1,000 naira, I don't have any cash on me, I need to buy petrol, my car is on red. Hi Toyosi, good to see you. So don't now go into your relationship and spoil your boo to the extent of spoiling your bank account. Manage, please. The person wants to be spending your money, you already know that that one is red flag, red flag, red flag. Cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it. Right? So how are you managing your finances as an individual before you now talk about going into a relationship? Holy Ghost, help me. Let me give you guys some questions, and I'm going to try my best not to talk about them. If you can write fast, which I doubt, or type fast, please do. Okay, let me see if I can take this question here. Okay. Oh no, it's not a question. All right. Okay. I'm thinking if I should ask this question or leave them for the rebound session. Okay, maybe I'll leave some for the rebound session, and then I will say some now. Just a couple. This is a very important question. Am I looking to find something in someone that I do not have in myself? Am I looking to find something in someone that I do not have in myself? Now, this can swing in a good way and this can swing in a bad way. So, for example, I didn't have a lot of spiritual strength, or I wasn't that intelligent. I mean, I knew that I was gifted, I was talented and all, but I didn't know how to structure it. I didn't know how to, present it. My husband, on the other hand, was highly spiritual intelligent, and I really needed that. And I knew that for the life God was calling me to, I needed that. And then put structure to the things that I do. So that was great. But The negative side of it is something like what we've discussed already. I don't have good self-esteem. And I find someone who is so jolly and so free with people and so confident. Am I drawn to that person because I feel the person can lift me up? That is a wrong approach. Because what is going to happen, a number of things, in no particular order. Number one, you're going to be sapping life out of that person. Because you're going to be like a leash, trying to suck joy out of the person to make yourself happy, make yourself content. And I've noticed something. The second thing that could happen is you're going to try to become bubbly like that person to match the person's energy. You're going to try to become bubbly to cover up for your own inadequacies, so that they will not feel like two of us are at par. And I know this because I mean, like when we're in secondary school, sometimes even till now, there was a time that going to the toilet, and I think it's still a thing. There was a time going to the toilet to take selfies with your girlfriends was a thing. Anyway, thank God that kind of thing can never happen to me. Some of you know, you even hate the smell of toilet. Even when sometimes you go to fast food toilets, it's smelling of camphor, it's smelling of jig, it's smelling, and you come out and you're smelling of Dettol, and it's so disgusting. But because girls are going to touch up on makeup and do selfie, you're like, we are together. No, I can touch up where I am, or go outside, or go to the car and touch up. I don't have to come to the toilet to touch up. But sometimes a lot of people, it's human psychology. It's just the same way as when you are in church and people are praying, karadada bakasu. It gives you energy. And you realize that sometimes when you come to your own house, the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ plus Jesus minus Satan. But when you come to church, it's even you, they will tell to lead prayers. It's energy. This is why when a room is feeling cold, really cold, and then 6, 7, 10, 15, 20 people come into the room, it gets warmer. It's energy. It just matches up. Everything joins. Hi, Oge. We need to talk. Right? Everything joins. So it's the same thing in situations like this. You try to, and I've noticed a number of people that talk a lot, that jive a lot, even when it's not necessary, want to call attention to themselves and all of that. There's an esteem problem. There's something they're trying to cover up for. So ask, am I with this person because I'm looking for something they have that I don't have? And not in a good way. You want them to make up for an inefficiency that you need. Amarachi, my goodness. Happy New Year's. Right? So not in a good way, but a deficiency, a lack, something you're actually supposed to work on to make the relationship better. But you're trying to use another person as an adhesive. You're trying to use another person as a band-aid. Right? You want to get high on that person. Okay. Another question I should ask. I will leave the rest of the questions for rebound. I think I've answered a couple of them in one way or the other. Okay, now I'm not going to talk about this, but I'm just going to highlight it. I've realized that, I don't know if it's with guys or with girls, I've realized that a number of people come together. Hi, Koi. A lot of people come together and they don't even know what conversations to have. Especially we Christian ladies and Christian guys that have not been in relationships for a long time. And they're like, what do I even say when I meet people? How do I meet people? What do we talk about? Apparently that's a thing. And so maybe I'll do a different series altogether on this. But you cannot go out and then be talking about the sky is green. What did you eat last night? What time is your service tomorrow? You guys need to have actual conversations. It might be awkward at first, but you need to learn how to converse. And there's a way to converse, even with people that you just meet. Okay, let me take 2 more important points before we go. What time is it, please? Right, so you need to ask yourself, what do I want out of a relationship? What do I want out of a relationship? Let me back up a little bit before I come back and say that one of the reasons I always say you should have time, give yourselves time, 7:45, thank you so much. Give yourself time in the relationship is that when you guys become really close, you can't see yourself and you can't see the other person as in who they really, 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 really are. You can't. You cannot see your real self and the person's real self when you guys become too involved, too vested. Emotions are already involved, so you will always give excuses. You cannot begin to train your eyes for red flags when you are already invested. Listen, if you hear you have invested 1.2 million naira in stock, my dear, and you are hearing gists that maybe perhaps per chance is like, pay stock market wanna crash tomorrow, you are gonna fast. You are gonna call all your CEOs and that this stock market must not crash. If you have a way to call Biden to say, fam, I know you're in charge of you call Wall Street, I know you're in charge of our finances here, please, what can you do to help me? You are going to make that call. You are not going to allow your investment to go. But the best time, hey, Pastor, please can we appreciate Pastor Ade Kunle, the newest branch pastor, of the Ibadan branch of Celebration. Congratulations, bro. And, you know, God is with you all the way. We've had conversations before, but we celebrate you. We appreciate you. God is with you, especially as you go forth tomorrow. God bless. You're reading my book. Are you just reading the book? It says solid gold. Yeah. So you're gonna do everything to ensure that stock market does not crash. But guess what? Most of the time, the stock market will crash. It will still crash. Yeah, it will crash. So the best time to check for red flags, I mean, it's good to do that even in the relationship, but it's better to do it before you get into the relationship. Hi, Auntie Lanre, it's good to see you. But I'm not talking about red flags because we've done a video on that before. Okay? Now, what do you want out of a relationship? What do you want out of a relationship? This is like relationship. I can't even call this 101. Whatever is before 101. There's nothing like 100, but whatever is before 101. You need to ask. It's a very basic question. But I find that a lot of people don't know the answer to that question. And like I said here, some things are good, but they're not good enough in themselves. So it's not enough to say, sorry, I'm using this example because I heard it even more so recently. The person, he just gets me. Let me say this now too. Because I've had incidences in the last maybe 2-3 months where 2-3 ladies have come to meet me to say they're in a relationship now, but they're talking to this other guy. And this is a topic, this is a novel, and I'm just giving myself ideas. Wow. This is another topic. I'm not going to tell you the name of the topic. Yeah. So, they come to meet me and say they're talking to another person. I'm like, why are you talking to another person? But these things happen. And they're talking to another person, and like, I vibe more with this person. This person gets me. Well, with these particular situations, the case was different. But I mean, I would need to know on a case-by-case basis. So I'm not putting this as a blanket statement, but generally speaking, right? So this person gets me. I'm like, I don't understand. A lot of people get me. But I'm here in my husband's house, bearing the name of Oluwatoyinbo till Jesus comes. Right? So you don't get with somebody because they get you. You get with somebody because they get your destiny, and they are willing and able to do and be the things that you need them to do and be. Right? So, and this is brings up the whole argument about content and container. So this person doesn't know how to blend colors, but he knows how to blend the colors of my life. I will teach him how to blend colors. This person says things instead of things, but he knows how to articulate my life story. Hi, baby. Hey, I just mentioned you and you're here. I think I'm high tonight. Not, I don't drink and I don't smoke, but I'm just excited. My husband is on the call now. A lot of pastors have come here and I honor them. But this is my pastor and my husband. Can we celebrate him? I don't know if you just heard the last thing I said, but it was kind of about you. Hi, boo. Right? So the person might not be able to articulate English, but they can articulate the destiny of my life's calling. So the person might have body odor at the moment. See, bathing, shaving, alum, shaw can fix that. But if my destiny is thinking, it will not just affect me, it will affect thousands and millions of souls I'm supposed to reach. So please, don't marry a person just because they make you happy. Like I said, my friend's husband makes me happy because we gist, we vibe, we're cool. But that's not what I'm looking for. Okay? Right? So people come and make me say, I'm talking to this guy and he gets me, he just gets me. See, even when you get married, you meet people people that you like, people you're attracted to. You meet people that have something your spouse does not have that you wish that they have. So you're not married to this person just because, alum. Why people say alum care? I mean, they don't use, maybe I'm old though. People used to use alum now. Alum that they used to wash snail to remove slime and kidney. Yes, now. God will provide for you, coin. Don't worry. Right? You will meet all those people. So I'm not married to my husband just because there needs to be something more than that. Otherwise, when the tides of rich men come my way, or Alajis come my way, or Abuja goons come my way, but destiny is at stake. All right, I think I'm going to end with this point. So I was asking, so what do you want out of the relationship? You need to ask, what do I really want out of a relationship? What do I really need in a relationship? And please remember that I started off by talking about thinking. I've asked a lot of questions tonight. It's not play. It's not play. You need to think about it. I remember you need to think about it now, because believe me, when that boy or that babe comes, you're not going to be thinking as clearly as you are thinking now. So before that relationship, no, it's not you, it's not your friend. I was saying my friend, I was giving an example of, oh God. I was talking about P-Shobes, for example, and how P-Shobes, we gist, we vibe. I laugh with him, I'm happy when I'm with him. But it's not the happiness of destiny that I will now join myself to him in marriage. When I'm with Adeye, his wife, I'm happy, but I'm not going to get married to her. Yes, that's what I was saying. P-Downs. Hi Shay, it's so good to see you. Right? So you need to, I can't remember what I was saying now, but you need to ask yourself why you need to be in a relationship. So two last points. You need to, I was saying that you need to think clearly now, because trust me, you won't think as clearly when your feelings are all over the place, right? You need to pursue your passions and make them priority. Pursue your passions and don't try to step down your greatness. Don't step down your greatness. Don't worry, you won't blow. There's nothing like, you don't need stabilizer for your destiny. You do not need stabilizer for your destiny. You don't need to step it down. There's no high voltage, there's no sparking, there's nothing like that. Of course, you do it as God leads you. You do it without being arrogant, but there's nothing like stepping down. Now, however, I have written, pursue your passions and make them priority until XYZ. Let me explain that in the context of a marriage. So for example, when I got married, pursue your passions and make them priority. That's what I said, Pamela. How will I explain? So I was working, I was teaching, and I loved teaching. I was passionate about this and all of that. And I got married and I had to move to another country. So I had to resign from my job. That was painful for me. I already started doing total package and all of that before I traveled. I had to, adjust that for a while. Before I knew it, I even did one total package from UK, but it wasn't, before I knew it, I got pregnant. So it kind of seemed like my life was now going in slow motion, right? But there was a reason, there was a bigger picture. I was married, I was, learning the ropes of marriage. We're coming into ministry, we had to build that strong and solid from the beginning. So I could see even everything I was doing in what my husband was doing as well. And now that, the children are a bit older, ministry is growing, I've even now had to even resign from work because I'm now so invested in ministry and so invested in what I'm doing. And now I'm coming back all the way up. Amen. So I did not allow, my husband is a pastor, so I must stop everything else I was doing and become Pastor Mrs. even before we got married. I didn't do that. And he didn't even want me to do that. So don't step it down. However, you must ensure that there is a sync between both of you. So ask him, what are you really doing? Even if he says he's a banker and you're a teacher, don't just see it as jobs. Don't just see your jobs as jobs. I always say, when you are praying to God for a job, it's not just a job he wants to give you. Okay, so this job I'm giving you, what are you going to, what's in it for me? When you are praying, God give me a child, God give me a child, God give me a child. It's not just a child. That one is not big here. I can give you 3 safe now. I can give you 3 now. God can even do it that you, okay, let me not say that. But no, people should not quote me. It's not a quotable quote. It's not theology or anything. As in, God is so God that if he wants to give you child, he can give you 3 now, even without you and your husband having sex, and it will carry the DNA of your husband. If he wants to, he can. So it's not the issue. So what are you going to do with this child I'm giving you? Because everything God does with us is an investment, is a covenant. It's for his glory. Say, he's created all things for his pleasure. All things, including your job. So even if he's a banker and you're a teacher, how are we going to advance the kingdom of heaven through this? Right? And then finally, understand the power of being single. Understand the power of being single. Understand the power of being single. I've said this before, I'll say it again. I learned it from Miles Monroe. When God was creating the world, he did not create husband and wife. He did not create boyfriend and girlfriend. He did not create boo and bae. He did not create Adam and Eve first. He created a single person. He did not create marriage ministry. He did not create 2-in-1. He did not create family life system. He created a single person. And so God felt his breath was good enough to be vested in a single person. And God said, he breathed into Adam and he blessed him, be fruitful and multiply. So the fruitfulness, the multiplication was in a single person. I feel like crying as I'm saying this, and I'm just going to assume. I don't want to form and say it's the Spirit of God, but I don't understand why I'm crying. Or I feel like crying. The multiplication, the fruitfulness you are looking for, hoping that you'll get it when you get married. And I'm not saying there's no multiplication of fruitfulness in marriage. God knows I'm enjoying that. But you must understand that you already have it. If I didn't have it, and if my husband didn't have it, when we got into the marriage, we will not have it. The multiplication and fruitfulness you will experience in your relationship or in marriage, in the hugs, the laughter, the joy, the oneness, the unity, the money, and all of that, it comes from inside. It's when 2 of you bring it together in that understanding that boom, things happen. So you must understand that God thought a single man was good enough to put his breath in, bless, and say, be fruitful and multiply. And guess what? In that single man was the woman. In that single man were other sons and daughters. In that single man was technology. In that single man was spacecraft. In that single man was school, education. In that single man was Tojo Oluwatoyinbo doing this live. In that single man was Dami Oluwatoyinbo was kings. In that single man, everything else came out. Fam. If you are single, understand this. Be happy, content with it, because it is what you have within that will radiate without. And this is why I always say, have you not noticed that people that have low self-esteem, they attract people that prey on them? People that have low self-esteem attract boyfriends that abuse them. Because it's what you have inside you. It's helplessness. It's, I beg, come to me, I need you, that they are oozing out. And that's what they will get. And that's not our portion in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. The end. The outside pressure to marry is just too much. It's just too much. Instead of people being more concerned about their destiny. Yeah. It's too much. I understand. Sometimes I feel I don't really get that, but I'm trying to put myself intentionally in those shoes and ask. Because I met my husband when I was 18. We started courting when I was 19. By 25, I was married. And before that, because I was not just serious, I had a lot of boyfriends. So I never really understand that pressure. But I'm intentionally these days trying to put myself in those shoes. All right, guys. I hope you learned a thing or two. I hope this was helpful. Hi, Adedayo. Hi, Adedayo. It's good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you guys so much for coming in and for staying. I can imagine. And I wonder why. Thank you, Tammy, for joining in. So like I said, you might see this video up for a few minutes or so, but it's going to be on my YouTube, and I will announce my YouTube channel soon. So pray with me, please. Pray with me for many things that God is doing, and for the rest of this series. Oh, thank you, Tammy. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I am Innovation. Thank you. Daring, God bless you. Sister, yeah. My case is different. My case is very different. I don't want to, and I think maybe one day my husband and I will do a live on that. Our case is different. And I think God really just picked us out because of the work he knew I would be doing and we would be doing. A lot of people don't even know what they want to do at 18. But my case is different. But I know that God is using me to show people what is possible. Yes. I don't like give you full gist. Full gist of what? Huh? My own words? I'm so confused about this. Kenny Love, you're welcome. Yeah, we will share the story. Yeah, sometimes when I think about it, it's ridiculous. I met him at 18. And we started courting at 19. Yeah. I wouldn't advise my cousins or nieces to do that, but here we are. Oh yeah, YouTube, yeah. Sister, who abbreviates YouTube now? All right, guys, I have to go. Thank you so much, Gov. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, I'll get my husband to. I'll see if he wants to collabo with me. Yeah. Thank you, guys. All right, I'm going to go now.